Am I live? What the fuck? Yes, I'm live. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're. Hello, everyone. Spam the chat with heart, guys. Show your enthusiasm. How many people are watching? So we are going to wait for a couple of minutes more. सबका आने का इंतजार बस. Hi. Okay, so should I start now? All right. Okay, we are starting now. All right. All right. So the first question that comes to your mind right now, you're attending this session, designing. So what should be the first question that comes to your mind? The first question that comes to your mind is, why is design important? So to answer your question, the first thing that I'm going to show you is an example. These are two websites of travel companies, I guess. Now, between these two, suppose you hired to design, you have a travel company, you hired two designers to make a website, design a website for you. And these two designers present you with these two websites. So which one you are going to pick? Okay, I'm seeing the answers. So why do you think the second one is, as I see, majority of you are answering the second one? Why? Like, what exactly makes it different from the first one? Of course, it's pretty. It looks good, exactly. So if you were to, you know, see, go travel somewhere, and you see a website like the second one, it will definitely be pleasing to your eyes. You will want to explore the website more. You will want to stay in the website for longer time. So this is what this designing is about. User interface, that is UI. Today we'll be talking mostly about UI and UX, user interface and user experience. So by these are some of the points that you need to keep in mind when when you're making a design. You in industry, like when you have to compete with other businesses, your a good design will make your business look good. It will make you stand out. It will show you have a professional business, and you'll want your design to resonate with the people that are viewing your website or app, for as of that matter. So proceeding with this, now the second question that should come to your mind is, where do I start? Now designing is a very vast topic to be, talked about. So where do I start? What do I do? The first thing that you need to do, as if you're starting out as a designer, you know that yes, I want to be a designer, I want to start somewhere. Very few points, these 5 points you need to keep in your mind while starting out. You need to study. That doesn't mean you need to study textbooks. You need to study, you have to observe. You have to observe works of other designers, other websites. You need to understand why are, what is the difference between a good website and a bad website, a good UI and a bad UI. So that'll studying and observing will help you realize that. It'll You will slowly and steadily start realizing that yes, this is different, and this is, well, not that good. The second point that we come to is, reach out. You have to reach out to other designers. You have to reach out to your seniors. You have to like make accounts on different social medias. You have to go on Twitter. You have to tag people. You have to talk to them. You have to basically make connections. You need to show your design to the world as much as possible. For that, you need to reach out more. Build. You have to practice. You have to practice a lot. A good designer practices a lot. As the creative lead right now, I'm saying I'll admit that I'm not a very good designer, but I have improved a lot over these years. So I'll say that comes with building and practicing and observing and talking to other people. So you need to keep practicing. You need to learn designing tools that we'll be doing today. That is pretty much what we'll be doing today. We'll be learning designing tools, and be consistent with your work. There will be sometimes people will come up to you and say that, your design is not looking good. You could have done a better job. That kind of demotivates you to an extent. So the thing is that you cannot let that demotivate you. You have to be consistent. You have to understand that yes, this is the reason they are saying that my design is not good. I could improve like this. You have to, that is why I'm saying you have to reach out to other people. You have to talk to them. You have to show your designs. You have to show your work. They'll give you some sort of constructive criticism. You have to take that positively and move on. Keep improving yourself. Okay, this is a roadmap I made for you guys many days ago, like for the intro session and of GDSC. This was the roadmap I made. So yeah, this is where we, for example, I have written here designing tools. You can see I have written Figma on top. Now that is what we'll be talking about today, Figma. So yeah, let's proceed. Okay, so the question that arises in your mind, I'm talking about Figma. What is Figma? Why should I use Figma? Like what? Why do I use Figma? I have other apps, easier apps. I have Canva. I have, So Figma is basically, you professional designers use Figma, And Figma gives you a lot of freedom, a lot of independence. It gives you a lot of resources to work with. And maybe at first you won't realize that, but yeah, with time you'll start realizing that, because when I started designing, I did not like Figma. It was hard for me. I did not like it, and I stuck to Canva for a few months. But then as I started using Figma, I started realizing that it is giving me a lot of more independence, a lot of resources. So yeah, let's see how does Figma help us. So here I have added a definition. Figma design is for people to create, share, and test designs for websites, mobile apps, and other digital products. It is a popular tool for designers, product managers, writers, and developers, and helps anyone involved in the design process contribute, give feedback, and make better decisions faster. So, one thing about Figma you need to know is you can collaborate with people. Thus, a lot of people can work together on the same project at a time. You can leave comments. I think you can do that on Canva too right now with the latest updates and all. But yeah, so you can collaborate with people, you can work together, you can basically improve. So the next thing that we move on to, yeah, so we'll be setting up Figma. For that, the what are we gonna do is, wait a second. Hmm, share screen. All right, so we'll be opening a new tab. I hope that's visible. Let me know if it's visible. Yeah, it's visible, I guess. So I'll be going to figma.com. So here we are in figma.com. Okay, so I have been getting questions. How is Canva? Canva is basically, like, if you are a beginner, if you're like, you don't know anything about designing, you are just starting out, you can use Canva, of course. It is a very good tool. But if you want to proceed with designing, if you want to make better designs, improve your UI UX, you want to like make website designs, you want to make app designs, you need to use Figma for that, because as I said, Figma provides you with better tools. Canva doesn't. So okay, so we are here in figma.com right now. So you guys will be making new accounts, I guess. Get started for free. We'll be going here. So we'll be creating a new account. This is my already. Okay, one more thing you need to know. Do not use your college email, guys. Do not use that. You need to use your personal emails, because your college email will be with you as long as you are in this college. So please use your personal email accounts. So I'll be using my personal email account. Um, okay, no, I can't use this because I've forgotten the password. I am using my college email, but you have to use your personal email account, guys, because I'm just making a temporary account just to show you how to get started. So okay, I'm creating an account. So you have to basically go to your Gmail account and check, I guess. Do I do that here? Mm, So here I have got my verify email. As you can see, you can verify your email from here. So you will be redirected to this page. Get the free Figma education plan for your classroom. So for this, okay, so let me show you. If you go here, pricing, there are 4 plans for this Figma. There are 4 plans. So the second one, Figma Professional, you can avail it if you are a student or educator. So that is exactly where I am. They have redirected me to this page. So I'm going to go with student. You have to give your, education and stuff. You have to give your details basically, and then you have to agree with in these conditions, whatever, and then submit. Submit your and then your email account will be verified in a minute, just so you know. So I'll not be doing this because I already have an mail account that I use. I'll just be logging in with it. mm, I'll just continue with Google. Yeah, so you will be turning to Figma. And so we are finally in Figma. So if you want to create a new file, you can just, design. You can see there are options here right at the top. Design file, you can just create one new. So here we are in the workspace. Okay, now the other thing that you need to know, you can also install Figma in your device. So we are going to do that too. We are just going to go back. Mm, Log out. Oh God. Not what I want to do right now. Okay, so we'll be going back to figma.com. God. We'll just be doing these. Just so yeah, so back to files. We'll be logging out. So we are back to this page. I guess you can. Where is the installation? Anyway, so we have logged in. You can install Figma on your device. And yeah, you have basically a completely new you can have a app on your laptop application. Figma is a different application, or you can use it on your browser too if you want to, as you saw here. So I'll be using my application. Okay, so we'll be going back to our slides. So yeah, so we set a Figma education plan for our account, And you can create a team project. You can also create like a design file different if you want to do it alone. So okay, let's get started now. Okay, so why should I use Figma? I guess I answered your question before that Figma is probably the easiest tool, easiest designing tool that you can use, which is so versatile and gives you so much freedom. So, okay, so let's proceed with Figma then. Okay, let the chaos begin. Um, yeah, I have listed some of the shortcuts. I'll be using in Figma. I'll be showing you how to use them. But let's create a new design file right here, and yeah. So, okay, first of all, we are in the workspace of Figma right now. So, how do we start? Where do we start? The first thing that we need in our workspace is a frame. Okay, so now what is a frame? And how do what does it do? How do I use it? So, as you can see, I have the selected tool selected right here. I'll be going on to like right next to it, frame. I'll be clicking on that, and you can see there are so many options at the side. Another thing you can do is you're on the selected tool, you can just press F on your keyboard to, like, this is a shortcut. You can come to frame here, right here. So here we'll be going with, I have what we'll be creating today. Let me show it to you first. Not this one. Where is it? Yeah, right here. So this is basically what we will be creating today, a game interface, a game design. So yeah, this is what I'll be recreating. Now for inspirations, this is something I've made on myself. I take inspirations obviously from different places like, oh god, wait a second. Mm, I forgot to share my screen with you guys. I'm so sorry. So here we are in my Figma page. So this is what we'll be making today. I'll just recap you with this. So this is what we'll be pretty much making, recreating today. So yeah, about inspirations I was talking about. You have different size for inspiration. You can go to Pinterest, you can go to Dribble, you can go to there are so many more. Tumblr, you can go to Tumblr as for that matter, and you can look for inspirations. Okay, so right now I'll be showing you, I have taken inspirations from different areas, so I have made this from that. So we'll be recreating this right now. Okay, so we have a new untitled file. I did not, I'm showing you how to make frames again. Okay, the first thing that we are going to do is change the name because untitled is not a very good name to have. I'm just going to rename it as game interface. Yeah, not exactly interface. It should be named as UI. Yeah. So we have a new file, and now we are going to, as I said, this is a selected tool. This is selected right now. As you can see, it is blue in color. You can select the tool right next to it, which says frame, and we'll go to that. Or what else you can do, you're on the selected tool right now, you can click on F and enter the frame tab. So as you can see, there are a lot of options in frames. You can start with phones. You have a lot of frames here, tablets, desktop. We'll be doing desktop today. I'll be selecting, I guess, MacBook 14. Yeah, that's good. So we have a frame here. Now, whatever designs we make will be on this frame. So this is what a frame is basically. Now, the first thing you want to do maybe is, okay, so where do we start? You have, as you can see, this is our inspiration. So all these assets basically I have taken off from Google, and this has nothing to do with, just close this. I have taken it off from Google, and I haven't illustrated them in case you were wondering. Yeah. So okay, the first thing that we do is, see, this is Valorant. So the first thing that we need is the font for Valorant. Now we have a lot of inbuilt fonts in our Figma. You can go, as you can see here, text right there. I am going to click on that, and I'll just click on my frame. And as you can see, there are a lot of options on the side. Text, let me know if I'm going very fast. Just let me know, okay? So, or if you miss something, you can just let me know. I'll repeat myself. Okay, so we are in the text. There are a lot of tabs, as you can see. There is constraints, layer, text, fill, stroke, effects, export. So right now we are talking about the text. So as I wanted to show you, there are a lot of fonts in Figma that you can use. You can like select any one of them. I write something here. It is very small. I'm writing my name, for example. You probably can't see it, but that's okay. Yeah, so I have written my name, as you can see here. But yeah, so if you want to increase the size of the text, as you can see, we'll be selecting the text, okay, and as you can see, it's set to 12 right here. You can increase it to whatever. You have a lot of options here too. If you want to select that, we changed it to 40, it increased in size. Or you can like manually change it to, like, for example, I'm going to type here 70, so the text increases in size. So what I wanted to show you, there are a lot of fonts here that you can use for your text. But for the UI we are using, we specifically want to have the Valorant font, and we don't have that here. We don't have that inbuilt. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to Google. I'm pretty sure you can't see that. Okay. Mm, yeah. So we are going to go to Google. We are going to open a new tab, and we are going to search Valorant font. So here we are, Valorant. As you can see, there are a lot of options here. Valorant font, we go to Valorant font. And here we are. You can see as they have all the available letters here. So what we are going to do is download this font. You can see there is an option right here. We are going to click on download. So here we have it downloaded, and then we are going to open it. As you can see, we have opened it. It is a true type font file, TTF. The extension for a font file is TTF. So we are going to double click on this. And as you can see, I have it on my system now. I'm going to install this font. Okay. I clicked on install. I already have it installed. So yeah. So we have it installed now in our system. Are you people doing it with me? Like, do I need to go slower? Let me know if you want me to go slower. Okay, so all right. Now, when we search, we come back to our Figma screen, and when we search here, Valorant, you can see we have the Valorant font present here right now. And we can select it. And as you can see, my name is now in the particular font I installed. One more thing that can happen is you install the font, you come up here, you search for Valorant and you do not find it. What you're going to do in that case is close your Figma tab completely, reopen it, and there you'll have it then. It just needs to get loaded. Okay, so now we have our name here. And okay, so we don't need this right now. The first thing that we need to do is I'm just gonna, copy this and paste it here because I need to, oh god, okay, that did not work. I'm just gonna screenshot it then. Yeah, I'm gonna paste it here. I have it increased. So this is basically our inspiration. We will be recreating this. I just brought it to my frame. Okay, so the first thing that you need to learn is how to, bring images onto your frame, onto your file. So the first agent that we are going to go with is Viper. I guess that's her name. So we are going to go to our Chrome tab. Very good. We are going to go to Chrome. We are going to open a new tab. Yeah. So I'm going to search Viper PNG Valorant. Go to images. So there you have it right on top. You have the image. I'm just going to copy this image and paste it on my Figma file right here. So see, now we have, I hope you understood how I copy pasted the image on my file. That is just basic copying and pasting your image onto the screen. So yeah, we have the image on our screen. And see, this is our frame, right? On the, left side of the screen, you can see this is our frame. When I click on this, my frame gets selected. My image one is this, the one inspiration photo I have on the side. And my image two is this, the one I copy pasted just now. So what we are going to do is drag this image onto, oh God. We brought this. Now, as you can see, my image is under my frame name. My image is inside my frame name right now. So if I had to like take it out of my frame for some reason, I could just, it's inside right now. I drag it outside the frame and now my image is no longer a part of the frame. But I want it to be a part of my frame. So I drag it back inside. Yeah. So it is a part of the frame, as you can see. It is not visible outside the dimensions of the frame. So I bring it in the middle. Okay. So the other thing I want to do is the background is white. I want it to be this particular color. So as you can see, I selected my frame right here. I go to the fill option right on the right side of the screen, fill, and I select my fill option. Here I can, make it any color by dragging this, whatever it is called. So I can make it any color, on the color wheel, whatever you want to. But I want this particular color here. So I'm just gonna pick the color picker tool. I'm just gonna tap it on the frame, on the image, and now we have this color for our background. I guess you understood that. Yeah. So the next thing that we are going to do is adjust its size. Now, a thing in Figma is when you drag the image, I'll be dragging the corners of the image to adjust its size. But then, as you can see, it's not getting adjusted uniformly. It's getting dragged around and it's getting cropped at some point. I don't want that. I want my image to be uniformly adjusted. So I Control Z, undo. We have this image right now. The first thing that you can do is press shift on your keyboard, and while pressing shift you drag the image, and now you can see it gets adjusted uniformly. The other thing you can do is press alt, you press shift, and then you drag the image. As you can see, it's getting smaller in size from all the sides. Okay, so these are the two options you can do. One is you press shift and drag it, or you press alt shift and then drag it, and it gets smaller in size from all the four corners. So this is pretty much the size we want. Yeah. And as you can see, I have made a navigation bar right on the the left side. I'm getting my directions right. Yeah. So this is a navigation bar and we want to make that here. So the first thing that we are going to do is draw a rectangle. Now, what are shapes in Figma? I'll show you. We have the selected tool selected, right? We have it here. Then we have the frame tool. Then we come to the rectangle tool, as you can see, and there is a small drop down right beside it, shape, which on pointing on that, it says shape tools. So we're going to click on that. As you can see, there are a lot of options. We can draw a rectangle, a line, an arrow, ellipse, polygon, star, or we can place an image or a video. So right now we want to draw a rectangle. We're going to select rectangle. You can do it by clicking here, or you can also, when you are on the selected tool, you can press R on your keyboard, and here you go. You have the rectangle tool selected, and I'm going to just drag my mouse. Oh God. I'm just going to drag my mouse. As you can see, I just clicked on my screen and there is a rectangle present here of dimensions 100 into 100. So I want it to be longer, right? So I drag it and bring it inside my frame. As you can see, my rectangle is now inside my frame. So I bring it here, and then I can drag the sides of it. I can drag the sides of my rectangle to change its dimensions. As you can see, it's now 100 into 764. And you can change its dimensions as you like, as you want it to be. So we have it here. And now we want to change the color of the rectangle. So we'll again go to the fill tool, exactly how we change the background color. We are gonna use our color picker tool and we're just gonna pick the color of here. Okay, so now we have the navigation bar. It's empty, but we have something right here. So you just drew your first shape. Now, about shapes, I wanted to say more because there is a lot you can do with these shapes. The first thing, I'll draw another rectangle here just for demonstration. The first thing you can do is I drew a rectangle, I select it. You can see there are dots on the corner right here. What happens if I select these dots and I drag them to the center? You can see my corners are getting rounded. So with these dots, you can basically round the corners of your rectangle. And this is one of the things you can do with your rectangle. The other way you can round the corners of your rectangle is go to the right side of the screen. You can see there are options. There is X, there is Y, W, H, 0. So basically X and Y is the placement of the rectangle on your screen. It's basically giving the coordinates of the placement of your rectangle on the screen. The W and H are basically for width and height. They denote the width and height of your rectangle. You can change the width and height if you want to from here. I for example, I make it 290. It's 290 now. It was 290 before too. I'm just going to make it to 400. As you can see, the size of the rectangle changes. Okay, and the other thing, you can do it with the height too, of course. The other thing you can do is this is the rotation tool. You can basically rotate your rectangle with this. You see, as you can see, I rotated my rectangle 20 degrees. And then we have the corner radius tool. Now, the corner radius tool is a very interesting thing to use. You can basically change all four corners. For example, I select here 100. As you can see, all my four corners are now like rounded to 100. But the other thing you can do, you see there is a small independent corners option right here. You click on that, you can see there are corner radiuses. So I can change the corner radiuses individually too. For example, I select this to 0. You can see all my corner radiuses are 100 except this one because I set it to 0. So we have a very interesting shape right here. We can just, So this is all, I guess, with if I had to talk with rectangles. Okay, the other thing you can do is, change the color of your rectangle and all. The other thing you can do is change the opacity. Right next to the fill tool, as you can see, right next to the color, there is an option called, which is set to 100%. I'm just going to set it to 40. As you can see, the opacity of the shape decreased. That is the transparency. It's transparent, so it decreased, right? As you can see. And another thing you can do is give strokes to these shapes, basically. So by default, the stroke is set to 1. The color is black. You can change the stroke width. As you can see, I can change the stroke width as much as I want to. Yeah, so this is pretty much about rectangles. The next thing that I want to come to is ellipse. I think these are the two most important shapes you will be using in Figma for now. Ellipse is used to draw a circle, as you can see. It's obvious. So we have a circle here, right here. So you can see the dimensions and all, 369, 365. It is set to 0 degrees. And there is no corner radius option for it, of course, because it's a circle. The thing about circles is you can see a very small dot right here which says arc. Right here, as you can see, I can drag this arc to open up the circle just like this, as you can see. And then there are two more points now. When I opened up the circle, it was just arc in the beginning. When I opened it up, there are now two more points. One says start, the other says sweep. And there is another one right at the center which says ratio, 0%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this ratio and drag it outwards. And as you can see, the circle can be dragged outwards and made into this interesting shape. You can use it for a lot. This is what the ratio thing does. And a sweep is for basically joining it back if you want to, or like opening it even more. This is what the sweep tool does. And yeah, and start is to rotate the circle. So these are the three options you're going to use with circles. And yeah, this is it. I'm just gonna delete this. I don't need this right now. So we talked a lot about shapes, and now we are going to proceed with our website design. I'm just gonna, you get guidelines, by the way, on Figma, just so you know. You can center your characters, you can do your text and stuff using Figma. So yeah, so the next thing we are going to do for the navigation bar is we have this, as you can see, we have this Valorant symbol right here. So there are two things you can do. You can just import it from Google, or you can draw it here right on Figma. So I'm just going to import it right now. I'm just going to search up Valorant logo PNG. Yeah, so we get a lot of options here. I'm just going to select this one. This has a background. This does not have a background. Okay. Okay, so this has a background, I guess. We're just going to copy this. And as usual, we are going to paste it here. So as you can see, this Valorant logo has a background, which I don't want. I want it to be transparent. So what we can do, we have to remove the background. Now, we can do it externally, of course. We can go to browser. We can, use an external, you can search on Google to how to remove background. They'll give you some sort of an extension. I don't know. You can do a lot. But Figma has tools. Figma has, I'm on the selected tool right now. I'm just going to go to the main menu. You can see there are a lot of options here: file, edit, view, objects. From here, we go to plugins. Now, what are plugins? There are certain things, I'm just going to go to manage plugins. Yeah. So there are certain things you cannot do on Figma. And for example, you need an icon for your navigation bar that you have to draw. And all the time it's not possible to draw all icons all the time. So we use plugins then. There is a plugin for Figma, Icons 8. You can basically, import icons from here, but that is not what we are trying to do right now. We are trying to remove the background from our image. So we are going to go on remove BG. So as you can see, there is a plugin for that. We are just going to select that. We are going to run. Okay. Okay, so this is not working for some reason. We're going to use a different one. Yeah, it's not working. Oh, it's working. Okay. So as you can see, I use the plugin to remove the background of the image. So yeah, now we have the icon. We can just adjust its size by pressing Shift on our keyboard and dragging it. We're going to make it like small, really small, and we're just going to adjust it according to our navigation bar. Yeah, center it a little. So there you have it. We have the Valorant logo now. I'm just going to make it a little more smaller. Okay, so there we have it. As you can see, it's coming together slowly, very slowly, but slowly it's coming together. So for our navigation bar, as you can see, there are a lot of options here. We have skins, weapons, maps, agents, articles, stats. We're just going to like make something up as of right now. We are going to make our navigation, these options next. So I selected the text tool. As you can see, you can select it from here, or you can directly press T on your keyboard. And I'm gonna click on the screen, and now you can see the cursor blinking. You can type now. I'm just gonna type stats, maybe. No, the first thing I'm gonna type is skins. We're gonna start bottom up. Yeah, so we have it here. Now we have to decrease the size of the text. We have to decrease, you have to change the font of the text to make it like this. So yeah, it's very big right now. We are just gonna select the text, make it to probably, as you can see, it's on 500 right now. We're going to change it to probably 20 or something. It's very small. Yeah, as you can see, we have our skins here. Okay, now what we are going to do is duplicate this. Now, how do you duplicate an element on Figma? You can just right click on it. I'm just going to right click on it, send to back. Oh God. Uh, this is not how you duplicate it. I'm sorry. Mm, all right. So we have other ways of duplicating it. I forgot how to duplicate it. Anyway, as you can see, we have this element selected. We are just going to press Control D on our keyboard. And as you can see, there are now two text boxes right here. So there is a shortcut for duplicating elements on Figma, that is Control D. So we have it right here. We duplicated the text. We are just going to change it to weapons. Double click on it, change it to weapons. Okay, so this is not the font I want either. So I'm going to double click on it, select it, change the text to, mm, I think Inter. Yeah, we have it right here. I'm going to change it to Inter 2. So as you can see, there are two text elements. We are going to duplicate this again by pressing Control D on our keyboard. Drag it aside. You can see Figma provides you with guidelines. It shows you exactly how much space you have, how much space you have between the text elements. Where do you exactly need to place it? So we have maps next. We are just going to select the text, type maps. Again, we are just going to repeat the process. It's agents, articles, and stats. Mm, articles, duplicate it again, stats. So here we have it. We have made our navigation menu, and what we are going to do about it is you are going to select all of these elements. Did you see how I do it? I'll just click on my screen. I'll drag my selector tool. I'll select all of these elements and I'll group them together. Now, what is grouping? For grouping, what I'm going to do is press Control G on my keyboard. As you can see, there is a group 1 made now. I just pressed Control G on my keyboard and there is a group now. Now, as you can see, there is an arrow right next to the group. You click on it. You see all these text elements are now grouped under one group that is named as group 1. So I'll instead of keeping the name as group 1, I'm just gonna rename it to I double clicked on it. I'm just gonna rename it to nav bar. Yeah, so we have it. We have this group to nav. We have renamed it to nav bar, and now, as you can see, it's vertical. So we are going to make it vertical by Yeah. As you can see, I cannot really straighten it by myself. You can see there are options right here to straighten it. It's on 86.74. I'm just going to set it to 90. So we have straightened it now, and we are going to drag it and set it right here. There you go. You have the nav bar made present. And the next thing we are going to do, as you can see, there the agents on the nav bar is red in color. Basically, it shows that the agent tab is open right now. So I'm just going to click on our group. As you can see, I'm just going to select agents, change the color to this Valence symbol right here, and there you go. Probably make it a little bold too. As you can see, the font is Inter. Right under it, you can see it is set to regular. There is a drop down. I click on that. You get a lot of options to customize your text. So I'm going to set it to bold as of right now. So yeah, this is what we do. And yeah, so the nav bar is made. Okay, the next thing that we do is, as you can see, there is a backdrop to this character. We have a backdrop to Viper. So we are going to make that next. Okay, so for that, as you can see, it is a little parallelogram. It is a little tilted. It's not exactly a rectangle. So we are going to go on the rectangle tool right here, select it, and we are going to draw a rectangle. All right. So why did I draw a rectangle? I need a parallelogram, right? So what we're going to do is select the rectangle, and this is one of the most important tools, I think, in Figma that you need to know how to use. I have this selected, the rectangle is selected. I press enter on my keyboard. Now we have entered the edit mode for the rectangle. What exactly is edit mode? So see, as you can see, there are points at the corners. These points are known as anchor points. So with the help of these anchor points, I can do whatever I like. As you can see, there are anchor points right in the middle too. So I'm just going to select this and I'm just going to drag it. As you can see, I can make whatever shape I want with the help of these anchor points. I can do whatever I want. I can drag the corner and stuff. As you can see, we have a shape here. This is not exactly what we want to do. We want to make a parallelogram, right? So what I am going to do is select the corner, drag it to a side. There you go. We select the next the corner, adjacent corner, drag it too. But the problem now is it's not symmetrical. We don't know how much gap do we need to keep. So what do we do? Instead of doing it like this, what we are going to do is select. We are going to press on this corner, press shift on your keyboard, select the other corner, and just okay. We have three points here, so we are going to select this too. And now, oh, we are going to drag it. As you can see, now it's uniform. Yeah, so we have a shape right here. It is a parallelogram. This is not exactly how much I want it to be. We are going to go into edit mode once more. Just going to reduce the tilt a little. And yeah, to exit edit mode, you are in the edit mode. To exit edit mode, you can again press enter on your keyboard, and here we are. Now we can place it right behind our character. It's on top of our character. We want it to be under her. So what are we going to do is drag this right here on the left side of your screen. Drag this, and we are going to drag it under the image that is right here. As you can see, it's right under my image now. Yeah, so we have the backdrop and now we have to color it. Now, as you can see, the color is not exactly solid. It is somewhat of a gradient. So how do I achieve this effect? You can obviously go to fill, you can make it whatever color you want it to be, you can make it red and I don't know, whatever, but I want it to be a gradient. So we have another option for it. You can see here, right here, there is a solid option. We are going to go on gradient. We are going to click on that and instantly you will see there are two particular. So we are going to, we can drag them, we can select, we can arrange the gradient as we want it to be. These are not the colors I want though. So the color I want is basically a green. So I'm going to pick the color picker tool, use the color picker tool. I'm just going to pick up this green right here. All right, this is not a very good green though. Um, I need a more muted green. Yeah, right here. So as you can see, I have this green right here and this part of it is red, but the gradient, the transparency is reduced to 0. I don't want it to be red, I want it to be green again. So I'm just gonna take the color picker tool and yeah. So there you go. There you have the, now what is the point of making a gradient? As you can see, it's looking completely solid in color. So what we are going to do to achieve this particular gradient effect, we are just going to drag the transparency bar and reduce it to 0, right? And it's still not identical, I guess. So I'm just going to drag this upwards. As you can see now, it's pretty much what we want. And yeah, so we have this now. We have the backdrop. It's looking pretty nice, I guess. Yeah. So we have other two characters right on the side. So we are going to go back on Chrome. And we are going to search up their names. Um, I'm going to write PNG along with it. We have this. We can just copy this image, paste it right here, and we have her, but we have to reduce the size. We're just going to keep reducing the size. And we are just going to bring her back right here. Yeah. So, yeah. So there we go. Just gonna adjust it a little. Yeah. So there, we have her, and then there is another character right here. We are going to search up his image too. Yeah. Copy image, paste here. Press shift on your keyboard, reduce the size as much as you want it to be. It's pretty small, I guess. I'm just going to. Yeah. So I'm just going to reduce the thickness of this rectangle a little, I guess. Yeah. So there you have it. You have to just keep adjusting until it looks good. So yeah, we have it now. We are almost done, but as you can see, there is agents written in the background. I want to achieve that effect. So what I'm going to do is go to text again. I'm going to click on the screen. write agents here. As you can see, I have written agents here. I'm going to select the text. Um, I'm going to set it to 500, I guess. And that is a lot. I'm just going to reduce it to 400. I think that's okay. And I'm going to change the font to however this is pronounced. As you can see, we have the font, but the problem is it's solid. I want it to be transparent. I want it to be only outlined, and I want it to be right at behind everyone in the bottomest layer possible. So first we are going to uh, give a stroke to this text. I hope you remember what a stroke is. We are going to give a stroke to this text. We are going to select a particular color for the stroke. It's there, it's just not visible, you can't see it. I'm just going to increase the thickness of the stroke a little. Now you can see it, I guess. And yeah, we need to give it a lighter color. Yeah. Now I want it to be hollow, I want it to be transparent. So I go to fill, I reduce the transparency to 0. And now we have our text with its transparency reduced to 0, only outline. So I'm going to reduce the outline, of course. I'm going to put it to 1. Yeah. So it's not even inside the frame right now, as you can see. I'm just going to drag it inside the frame. There you go. We have the text. Yeah. Okay, the next thing that we do, I guess we are almost done. There is a very thin line here, as you can see. I'm just going to go with line. Just gonna draw a line here. It's very easy. Yeah, I have drawn a line here. Increase the thickness a little and give it a particular color. Yeah. So our first page is done, I guess. Here you have it, pretty much compiled. You can just adjust the sizes to make it look better. So I know the website looks very static right now. In the next session, we will be learning how to animate in Figma. So yeah, we will be we'll be doing another grouping right here. We are just going to select 2 layers. We selected 2 layers. We pressed Ctrl G on our keyboard, and there is another group made here. I'm just going to name it to Viper. Yes. So we are going to center her between these characters, and there you go. We have our first page made. Now we have another page, that is this one right here. So we are going to again screenshot this. Thank you, guys. Okay, the chat section looks very quiet right now. Maybe spam the chat, guys, please, with hearts. I hope you're finding this session interesting. I hope that you really want to design after seeing this. It's pretty easy, as I was saying. Figma is not hard. At first, maybe you'll be having some trouble to manipulate the tools, but it gets easier with time. I'm a beginner too, honestly, just letting you know that. Okay, so we're going to start with the next one. We are going to select frame again. We are going to press F on our keyboard. We are going to select MacBook Pro 14. Yeah, bring it in line with our other UI. This is our inspiration this time, as you can see. This is pretty much what it should look like. Another thing we could do is we have to recreate our navigation bar. We have to set the background color again. Instead, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to duplicate this frame completely. There, I press Ctrl D on my keyboard to duplicate, and I have it duplicated right here. And now I'm just going to delete these elements because I don't need them. Yeah. So I have deleted everything. I just have my navigation bar and the background color set to it. So we are going to start again. Again, we need to like have Viper on here. I'm just going to go here. I'm going to select the image right here. I'm going to duplicate it. Yeah. And now I'm going to drag this in. As you can see, the image is in MacBook Pro 14.1. That is in this frame. I want the image to be in the second frame. So I'm going to drag this image. I'm just going to drag it here. As you can see, it's no longer visible in the first one. If I drag it to the second one, you can see it. Yeah. So I'm going to press Shift. Yeah, increase the size right there. And there you have it. We have our character and we'll be designing her abilities. The first thing that we are going to do is, as you can see, I have written Viper here in the Valorant font. So we are going to use the text tool again. Write VIPER. Okay. Select the text. We are going to write Valorant. Yeah. So as you can see, the text is now in Valorant. And we again, as you can see, it is outlined, it is not filled in color. So we are going to set the fill to 0% transparency. We are going to stroke it, and it's set to black, it's set to 1. Okay. Yeah. um, and yeah, so we are going to increase the thickness of the stroke. Now we have to decrease the text size to when you zoom, how is Viper image not getting blurred? This is a thing about Figma. Your image quality persists no longer how much you increase it in size or decrease it in size. For example, I'm just going to copy an image, Control D. I'm just going to select this, duplicate it, drag it to here. As you can see, the image is very small in size right now. I'm going to increase it in size. And you can see the quality is not ruined. It's perfectly fine. So yeah, this is the thing about Figma. Mm. Oh yeah, sure, Samriddhi, we can do that. You can talk to our web dev lead. We can actually animate our web pages on Figma. Where that we'll be doing on the next session. It's very interesting, just so you know. I'm very excited for the next session. Hope you are too. So I'm just going to set the text to whatever size I like. I'm going to set it to 100, I guess. It's very small. I'm going to set it to 120. Yeah, so we have it. I feel like the outline is very thick. I'm just going to decrease it to 2 maybe. I'm just going to decrease to 2. Yeah. So we have our heading. We have our character's name. I'm just going to push it to the top. Yeah. So it's going to be a little here. Yeah. So the next thing we are going to move on to is abilities. Uh, for abilities, we are going to make a new text box. We're just going to write abilities. Okay, so we set it to different font. Decrease the size to maybe 100, and there you have it. We're just gonna adjust it to a particular line. Yes, Samriddhi, it's called prototyping. It's very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, we have our heading ready. Now, there are certain icons, as you can see. I'll be taking them from a random site I found online. Do I have it here? I don't have it here. I'm just gonna go to say, where is the site? Here we go. Yeah, as you can see, I found a site very similar to our own. We are just going to go here, copy some stats because we don't know anything about the character. So as you can see, we are in abilities. We have these images. So I'm just going to go copy this image, paste it here. We have this image. It's very big in size. I'm just going to set it to 50, I guess. The dimensions to 50. 50 is very less. 70 maybe. Yeah. So we have our first icon. I'm just gonna decrease the size of the heading a little more. Yeah, and I'm just gonna drag it, adjust it. We have the first icon. We have 3 more icons, I guess. Copy image, paste. Set to 70 again. You will get guidelines on Figma. You can adjust it however you like. Right under this, yeah. And we are going to go back. Copy image, paste here. Set it to 70. Just gonna copy the last one. Copy image, paste here. Set it to 70. There you go. We have all the images. Now we just need to adjust them. I guess 70 is very big of a size. I'm just gonna set it to 50. All of these 50. 50. And 50. So there we have it, our icons. Yes, so we have our icons, and now as you can see, I basically wanted to make it like when we select a particular icon, the information about that ability displays in like kind of a drop down box right next to it. So we are going to do that. For this icon, I'm just going to draw a rectangle to like give it a background. Just going to the rectangle here. Change the color of the rectangle to green. Adjust the size a little so that it looks good. Yeah. So we have the button ready. It's still not looking very good. So we are going to um, yeah. So we have it here. We are going to make this drop down box. For that, we need to add some text first, whatever is written here. Snake bite. Just gonna copy this text. Control C and Control V. I have the text here, right here. I'm just going to decrease the size to 20 maybe. Change the font to Inter. Yeah. And I'm just going to drag the box to adjust the thickness. Bring it. Yeah. So we have it here. And now there is a heading too, as you can see, toxic screen. Hmm. Yeah. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Come on, show some enthusiasm. Spam in the chats, guys. Okay. So we are going to make another text box. Control V, right there. Select the text. Hmm, change the font. If you feel confident enough, you guys can do it with me. Yeah. And we change the color to green. There you have it. And now we just need to make a box for this text. So we are going to draw a rectangle. Yeah. And we are going to reduce the transparency of 40%. We are going to bring it to the back. Yes. And we're going to adjust our text to how we like it. Mm, I'm just going to reduce the transparency a little more to maybe 30. And we'll give a stroke to it. Uh, It'll be green. Yeah. I'm just going to make it a little broader just so it looks better. Yeah. So as you can see, we are done with this. I'm just going to like drag it a little. Mm, We're just going to drag it a little so that it's in line with the button. Yeah, there you go. We have made the first ability. You can do this with all the other abilities that are present here. So basically, when we click on one, the background changes to green and the ability associated with the icon is shown right next to it. We'll be doing that when we'll be prototyping in the next session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of you. Any questions you have? Can you bring my charger? Can you bring my charger? It's in my bag. Yes. The stream paused. It's not this side. Am I live, guys? Uh-huh. Everyone, am I live? I guess I am live. Yeah. So let's continue. Why is the brightness so? Okay, so let's continue. Uh, so the last thing we are left with is these two character cards, as we call them. So let's make them. Yeah, let's just duplicate this text so that we can keep everything similar except the text content. Best paired with. The text is very big in size. We are going to reduce it to 50 maybe. 50 is very less. 70. Yeah, that looks good. Designing is all about testing and trying. You have to keep testing, keep trying. You have to figure out what looks good. It takes a lot of time. I have a prototype ready. I have everything ready in hand. That is why it is looking so effortless, but it takes me hours when I have to make a design from scratch. So you have to keep that in mind too. It's difficult, but never give up. It's very fun when you end up with a design that looks so nice. You feel very proud of yourself that yes, I made this. Okay, so we are gonna reduce the text size to 70. It's still not fitting. I'm just going to bring these icons closer. That's better. Yeah. Okay, so the character cards, as I was saying, talking about, should look something like this. How do we recreate it? Okay, so we bring up our characters first. I'm just going to duplicate, bring it here. So the first thing as you are going to see, it's not very visible here. I'm just going to show you my original design. The first thing you're going to see is her legs are cropped from the below. So we need to learn how to crop images in Figma. It's not very difficult. You're just going to select the image. You will see there is a image option in fill. You're just going to go there. Here, right here, there, when you hover your mouse over the fill, there is a drop down menu. You click on that. There are a lot of options, as you can see: fill, fit, crop, and tile. Right now we are going to go with crop, and we are going to crop from the below. We are just going to crop the image. There you go. So we have cropped the image now, and we are going to adjust the size. We are going to make it small, and we're going to bring it into the frame to check how much smaller do we need to make it. It's still not fitting. Okay, just going to drag everything a little more. Yeah, so it's fitting. Somehow it's fitting. I'm just going to make it a little more smaller because we need to keep margins in mind when we make a UI. All right. So we have her. Now we have to give this effect to the character. So the first thing we are going to do is draw a rectangle again. Mm, yeah. And we are going to bring our image on top of it. The rectangle we'll adjust according to our image. Just going to make it a little smaller than the frame of the image. Why do I do this? To make the image pop. I'm just going to round the corners a little. And there you have it. And change the color to a gradient as I did before. Just going to, you have to learn how to use these tools. It's not very difficult. It's very easy actually. These are basic tools and these give your images, your elements such a good effect. Going to drag it both to purple and we are going to pull it. Yeah. So we have the box. So we are going to bring it on top. As you can see, it's covering the image. So we are going to edit the gradient into a little more. Pull it a little more. I don't want to cover the image. Just a little glow. You can see. Yeah. So we're going to duplicate the rectangle again. The next rectangle that we make, this rectangle, as you can see, this glow effect is on top of the image. The another rectangle I have made that is below the image. I'll show you why. I'm going to give it a stroke. The fill will be nothing for this rectangle. It will just have a stroke. I'll set to purple. And there you go. As you can see, I am going to group all these into one element, into one group, rename it to the name of the character, and yeah, there you go. You can adjust the size if you want to. It's looking very small. I'm just going to, it's looking really nice. Yeah, and we have another character here. We are just going to make another character card. Okay. Mm, Mm, what is the name? Just gonna take the first one. Killjoy. And we are going to paste it here. Yeah. So again, we are going to adjust the size and do the same thing over again. I'm just going to adjust the size according to this other character card we made so that it looks symmetrical. It looks nice. I guess that's okay. I'm just going to crop her. Yeah, to crop. Mm, yeah. So we have her. Going to like God. Yeah. Stream আটকে গেছে স্ট্রিম আটকে গেছে mm, yeah, crop the sides too because we don't need them. Yeah. So we have her now. I'm not going to make it again. I'm just going to duplicate this. Just replace the colors and the character. Just going to instead of this image, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to bring this image, adjust her right here. I think that's pretty good. And change the colors, of course. We are going to make it a yellowish color, maybe. Change the gradient color to okay, not what I wanted here, and reduce it to very light. Yeah. So there you go. We have the character cards ready. Hmm. So there you go. We have recreated the UIs we made, and I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. You got to learn. Oh no, I missed something. Sorry. Okay, I missed. As you can see, there is this wiper text right in the background. I'll just write that. I already have agents written in this frame. I'm just going to duplicate that. I don't want to make that effort again. I'm just going to drag it here, change the text to Viper, adjust it, and I want it right under here. We need it bottomest layer. Yeah, and now we are done, I guess. I hope I'm not missing anything. So yeah, that's it. This is how you. I know it might look very fast. It might look very complicated, but it really isn't. It is very easy, and as you keep practicing, you keep moving up the ladder. It becomes easier, and yeah, that's it. I hope you make projects of your own, and if you do, you can send them to me on wherever you want to, on my Instagram or Discord. And yeah, okay, I have another slide. As you can see, I told you how to use shortcuts, useful shortcuts and stuff. And the last slide I have is useful plugins, which I used one to show you how to remove the background. So yeah, that's it. That's all you needed to know. In the next session, we'll be learning how to prototype, how to move forward with website designing. I hope you practice. I hope you enjoyed the session today, and see you guys in the next one. So, thank you so much.